back tennis ball in hand. We'll use that for later. If you have a scarf or a strap or a belt that you could use, grab that too. Some point that will come in handy. I'm going to go ahead and mute all of you so you can just hear me. And we'll start. We're going to start lying flat on our backs. So just come lying flat on your back, on your mat. Take a moment to arrive. And just bring your arms out wide to the side if you have room, and kind of shake your legs up and down. Move your torso and head and neck from side to side, and then take a deep breath in and then side out. Let's do that again. Inhale and then side out on your exhale. Beautiful. And then go ahead and grab your knees and draw them into your chest, and then rock from side to side. Gentle rocking. Taking our time waking up this morning. And then placing your hands on the tops of your knees, making little circles in one direction. And then circle in the opposite direction. And then come back to center and bring the knees wide and around and in. Wide and around and in. And then switch the direction. And then draw your right arm out to the side like a T and scoop both hips to the right as you drop your knees to the left and take a spinal twist and circle the right wrist one way. Oh yeah. And then circle it the other way. And then kind of nod your head from side to side. And then find stillness for a couple breaths, allowing the right shoulder to fall back down towards the floor. So if the knees come up off the floor to do that, let that happen. And then come back to center, back onto your back, and tug your knees into your chest for a moment. Just pause, let the spine even out. And then let's switch sides. Left arm out to the side like a T. Scoop both knees to the left, hips to the left first, and drop both knees over to the right. Oh, very nice. And let's go ahead and circle the left wrist one way, and then circle it the other way. And then nod your head from side to side. And then find stillness for a few breaths, allowing that left shoulder to externally rotate and come back down to the floor. Even if the knees come up to do that, then that is the way to go. Breathing into the lower back. So here's the pose that's really good for finding length and extension in the lower back areas. And then come back to center and hug your knees into your chest. And then bring your knees wide out to the side and then hug them back in towards your chest. And let's take a little happy baby and rock your hips from side to side. And then bring one knee, one heel in, like the right heel in, and extend the left leg out. Oh yeah. And then switch sides, left heel in, right leg extends. And a couple more times, just switching from side to side. So we're just taking our time warming up our bones, getting the rhythm of our breath to synchronize with the rhythm of our movements. A couple more times, and you don't have to straighten the leg all the way. If you want to keep the knee bent, that's cool. Right? This is about a feel-good practice, connecting your breath to your movements, and then beginning to quiet your mind, and then bring the soles of your feet in and your knees wide, and you can kind of rock from side to side and forward and back. Oof. So good. And then draw the knees back into the chest and begin to rock forward and back like a little ball. If this hurts your back, don't do it. Okay? So if anything doesn't feel good in your body, don't do it. There's no such thing as no pain, no gain. The pain in your body is telling you that it's not the right thing for you to do. And then come on to hands and knees, really working slowly. And then just kind of rock from side to side. So just getting a little bit more movement going. And then start to circulate the hips round and forward and down. And maybe the head and neck too then can begin to swivel back and forth or circle. No right or wrong way to do this. Feel free to close your eyes if that helps you be a little less distracted. If it helps you coordinate a little bit more of your breath to your movement. And then come back to center and switch the direction of those circles. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to move here. Moving organically or circular. And then coming back to center for cat and cow. So you're going to inhale, arch up, look up, and on an exhale, you're going to curl and gaze towards your navel. And a few more times. Inhale, arch, exhale, curl. A few more. Inhaling and exhaling. So pay attention to your breath, to the subtleties, to the texture of your breath. So beginning to drop in a little bit to the breath. And then drop the hips back into child's pose, but then come right back up. So we're just kind of lubricating the joints in our hips, dropping down and then dropping forward. So dropping down and then dropping forward. A few more times like that, back and then forward. Last time like this, back and then forward. And then tuck your toes underneath you and lift your knees just about an inch up off the floor and hollow your navel. So kind of round and look towards your navel and then release. So we're kind of building here. Lift the knees round, press into the palms and then release. One more time, just like that. So good for the lower back. Knees lift, round, and release. This time you're going to take your time slowly working back to downward facing dog. Lift the hips and knees, lift, lift, lift. Oh, so good. Then pedal out the feet, bend one knee, sink the opposite heel down, and just kind of pedal the feet. No right or wrong, circle the head. Oh yeah. Circle it the opposite way. Beautiful. Pedal, pedal, pedal. And then on an inhale, reach the right leg up and back, and push and reach, and push and reach, and push and reach. And then lower. And then switch sides. Left side, push and reach, lift, push and reach. And then lower. So good. And then separate your feet greater than hip distance in your downward dog and come up onto the balls and toes and then swivel both heels to the left and then push your hips and thighs back. Oh. And then come back to center and swivel the heels to the other side and then push the torso and the thighs and the hips back. And then come back to center and bend the knees. Continue lifting the hips and the sitting bones. So long, long spine, bent knees. Gaze between your toes. Let your head shake it. Yes. Shake it. No. Beautiful. And then come down to your knees and find child's pose. Let's find stillness for a few breaths. Walking the hands out in front of you, letting the head and neck be heavy. Few deep sighs here. Last deep sigh. Beautiful. And walk both hands over to the left in child's pose, or maybe the head and neck can come off the floor, and you can kind of swivel the hips from side to side, really working into that right hip flexor and the side of the right waistline. And then come back to center and walk it over to the other side. So this is not about perfection of the pose. This is about just kind of unwinding and moving a little bit deeper beneath the surface layers of your skin. And then come back to center. And then coming back into downward facing dog, go slow as you tuck your toes and you lift your hips and you find your dog. Oh, good. Good work. On an inhale, reach the right leg up and back. And an exhale, step it between your hands and drop the back knee down. If you need some padding and like some support, you can grab a blanket, or where's my bolster? You can grab a pillow and you can place it underneath your left knee for support, right? And then you're just gonna kind of sink your torso and bend the knee and then straighten. So lubricating the joints, you're gonna bend and sink into the hips and then straighten and then bend and straighten. 2 more times, just bending and straightening. Last time, bending. This time, straighten the leg and then place your hands. You're gonna cup your fingers if the floor is too far. And then hamstring stretch, so it's a nice little micro bend in the right knee, right, as you flex the right toes and pull the pinky toe side of your foot back towards your torso, so you can really stretch the calf and the Achilles. Couple deep breaths, let the head be heavy. Last breath. And then rebend the right knee, plant the palms, step the right foot back to meet the left, finding your way back into downward dog, and just kind of pedaling out the feet. No right or wrong, this is about sensation, feeling, breathing. And then reach the left leg up and back, and step it between the hands. Drop the back knee down, right? And then we do that sinking into the hip and then straightening. So you can bring your hands up here and be higher, or you can be lower. There's no right or wrong way to go. It's whatever works best in your body. Let that always be your guide. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. So sinking into the hips to start to lubricate the hip joints and the inner groin of the right leg. One more time with movement. And then rebend and then straighten the left leg and cup your fingers if the floor is too far away from you. And then begin to flex the foot, drawing the pinky toe side of the left foot towards your torso so you can get a deeper stretch in the calf and the Achilles. And put a nice micro bend in that right knee so you don't hyperextend the back of the kneecap. And then let the head be heavy. Breathe here. One more breath. And then rebend the left knee, plant the palms, and step the left foot back to meet the right, finding your way back into dog as you pedal out the feet. And then inhale the right leg up and back, retreat, retreat, retreat. And then step it through. This time stay in a low lunge. And you're gonna crawl your fingers up to the top of the right thigh. You're gonna bend the back knee and then straighten, pushing. So you bend and then you push the heel away from you. Couple times, bend and straighten, and then bend, and then straighten. Last time, bend, and then straighten, and then reach the left arm out in front of you. Right hand is on your right thigh, left arm forward. And then reach the right arm forward. Bend the back knee as you upright the torso. So now we're in crescent pose, but keep the back knee bent so the torso straight up and down. And now reach and extend through the fingers. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. Perfect. Reach and extend through the fingers. Lift up, lift, 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 lift. Right? And then you're gonna bend, kind of back bend. And then inhale, exhale to bend, inhale to lift. 2 more. Last one. And then you're gonna plant the left palm down. So we're gonna find a twist. I'm gonna find the right angle in this camera. Yeah. You're gonna plant the left palm down and reach the right arm up and circle the right wrist one way. And then circle it the other way. And really reach and open the torso and then place the palm back down as you step back into downward dog. Woo. Pedal, pedal, pedal. And then reach the left leg, do the same thing on the other side, up and back, and then step it through. And then we place both hands on the top of the left thigh. Torso's at an angle, and you're gonna bend the right knee and then straighten as you push the heel away. So just a couple times bending and straightening. Beautiful. Bend and straighten. Last time, bend and straighten. Now extend the right arm out in front of you. Feel free just to stay here. You can modify everything and anything, and then extend the left leg, the left arm, and bend the knee, upright the torso. Nice. Keep the back knee bent, right? So you can stay upright in the torso. And then we inhale to bend the arms and exhale to straighten. Inhale, exhale. Warming up. Inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Inhaling, exhaling. Last time with movement. Inhale. Exhale, and now plant the right palm down. So we find the twist and the lunge, and the left arm reaches, open up the body, circle the left wrist one way, maybe the head and neck circles 2, circle it the other way. And now open up, open, push the right palm down, reach the left, open, open. And then circle the arm back down, step the foot back, finding your way back to dog, pedaling out the feet. Warming up the body. And then inhale the right leg way, way up and back. Exhale, step it between your hands. Turn the back foot on an angle, right? And then place the right palm again on the right thigh. Reach the left arm forward. Reach the right arm forward and then come up. So now you're in your first warrior. Adjust the stance of your feet. So walk the right foot further to the right, and then make sure you can swivel the left hip forward. So both hips are pointing forward, and then rebend the right knee and extend the arms. And then inhale here, exhale, you're gonna lower the arms and straighten the leg, and then an inhale, bend and reach. Exhale, inhale, 2 times, exhale, inhale, last time, exhale, inhale, and then you're gonna keep the knee bent and clasp the hands together behind you, right, and then extend the arms back and find a little bit of a back bend for 3 breaths. Last breath. Nice. Release the palms. Step the right foot back to meet the left, coming back to dog and pedaling out the feet. So we build one layer at a time. And then inhale the left leg up and back, so nice, and step it through. Beautiful. Turn the back foot on an angle. Reach both hands to the top of the left thigh, and then extend the right arm forward. And then extend the left, and then lift the torso to come up. Beautiful. And we do the same thing we did on the other side. We straighten the left leg and lower the arms, and then we bend and lift. A couple times. Straighten and lower the arms, rebend and reach the arms. 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Nice. And then we clasp the hands together behind the back, and we find that back bend, opening the heart and the chest. 3 breaths. Last breath. Release the palms, step the foot back, find your way back to dog, pedal, pedal, pedal. Oh, and then drop down to your knees and take a child's pose. So we regroup. And then come back up to downward facing dog. Beautiful. And then separate your pinky toes to the outer edges of the mat and walk your hands back towards your toes so that your hips stack up over your heels. You're in a straight line. And then cup your fingers, and then you're just going to kind of rock forward and back, lengthening out the spine. Keep a micro bend in the knees if it hurts your back. And then plant the right palm to the center of your mat and bring your left palm to your back, right to your sacrum. Right, and then begin, so make sure that your sacrum's level, and then just begin to twist through the rib cage. So I'm not dipping one hip down to make that happen. I'm keeping both hips level. And the left hand's gonna stay on the sacrum so I can kind of measure that. So I'm gonna externally rotate, then reach the left arm up. So you may not get as much rotation as you think you would, but that's okay. Keep breathing. And then switching sides. Left palm's gonna come to the center, right palm's gonna come to the sacrum, right to the sitting bones, in between the sitting bones. And then you're gonna start, right, leveling the torso, the pelvis, and then begin to externally rotate, open up to the rib cage. And then full extension, right arm reaches. Oh. One more breath. And then release that. Now the right palm is going to grab a hold of the shin or the calf or the heel, right? And then you're going to begin to look underneath the left armpit and rotate through the rib cage. Let the head go. One more breath. Switch sides. Right palm down, left arm reaches towards the shin, the thigh, the calf, the heel, whichever is most accessible to you, and then begin to kind of look and twist through the rib cage underneath the right armpit. Let the head and neck go. Beautiful. And now release the palm and walk your hands back to downward dog and heel toe the feet hip distance, and then come down to your knees. And take a moment sitting on top of your shins. Sitting on top of the shins with the palms on your thighs. And you're going to roll the shoulders forward, back, and down. And forward, back and down. One more time. Forward, back, and down, and then switch the direction of the circles. No right or wrong way to go. Just getting some movement and mobility between the shoulder blades. Oh, very good. And now you're going to bring your palms to your heels. Right, and you're just going to kind of massage your feet. Maybe the thumb comes into the arch or the heel and just kind of massages the back of the feet, bottoms of your feet. Nice. Beautiful. And then finding your way back to downward dog. So we pause. And then on inhale, you're gonna reach the right leg way up and back. Reach and push, reach and push, reach and push. And then step it between your hands. Turning the back foot on an angle, right? You're gonna just kind of windmill the left arm up and back, finding your way now into warrior two. And then walk the right toes a little forward, until the knee is over the ankle, right? And then reach back a little bit. So the torso straight up and down, and then spread your arms like wings, right? And then on an inhale, we're gonna draw the palms towards each other, towards the heart. And then on exhale, we're gonna open. Inhale, exhale. 3 more times, inhale. Opening on the exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, so nice. Right forearm comes to the top of the right thigh. Left arm's just gonna kind of open out to the back of the room for a couple breaths, opening through the collarbone and through the pectoral muscles, the top of the chest. And now we're gonna circle that left arm slowly. Big, wide circles, opening the chest and the heart, inhaling and exhaling. One more time, this direction. And then reverse the direction of those circles. Slow, go slow to avoid any injury in the shoulder joint. One more time like that. Beautiful. And now bring the left arm out in front of you like a T. And you're gonna internally rotate. So the pinky finger is gonna come in, right? And then you're gonna reach the arm where the wall and ceiling meet overhead. Notice I'm not collapsing, but I'm opening through both sides of the body. I'm opening through the rib cage on the left side, right? And then I'm leaning into the right palm, the right forearm, and then take the right shoulder and reach it out away from the ear. 2 breaths. One more breath. So nice. Circle the arms back down to the ground. Step the right foot back to meet the left, finding your way back to downward dog as you pedal out your feet. Just generating a little heat in the body so it can stretch. Let's do the other side. Reach the left leg way up and back. Take your time, go slow. It's about movement, sensation, feeling, and then step it through. Turn the back foot on an angle, and then just kind of windmill your way up to the second warrior. And then walk the left toes a little further out. Walk, 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 walk. Woohoo! If you're not having fun, you're missing it. You're missing the point. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. It's important to laugh at yourself. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, left forearm, top of left thigh. And we take a moment just to kind of reach that right arm behind you. You're going to feel the collarbone stretch and like the whole scalings, the side of the neck begin to stretch. Just reach and let that breath do all the magic for you. And now let's circle that arm slowly. Don't go fast. Like you're making this beautiful picture of a circle in space, going really slow to protect the shoulder and opening up the rib cage. One more time this direction, and then let's reverse the direction of those beautiful circles. Big breath. Big breath. One more. And then bring the right arm directly out to the side like a T, right? And then you're going to internally rotate that palm. So the pinky finger wraps underneath. You're going to feel the opening underneath the shoulder and the armpit. And then begin to sweep that arm where the wall and ceiling meet. And notice I have a straight line between my fingers to my heel. So I'm not collapsed, but I'm opening up. And then that left shoulder, you're going to bring it to the ear and then pull it away from you. Oh, beautiful. Push into the left forearm and elbow. Reach up out of the right arm. 3 breaths here. One more breath. So nice. And then circle the arms, step the foot back, finding your way back to dog. Pedaling out the feet. And then drop down to your knees and take a child's pose. And then reach your arms behind you in child's pose. And then take the palms and just place it on your sacrum and let your elbows and shoulders fall down to the floor. So you're rounding through the upper back. And then draw the elbows in towards each other. And then release them back down. And then in towards each other. And then release them back down. One more set. Come in and now extend the palms, straighten the arms, and reach back towards the back of the room. Not up yet, just back. And now reach them up and over. And let that go. And find your way back to downward dog slowly. So most injuries occur in the transitions when we move just a little bit too quickly. So slow everything down. And then bend the right knee, sink the left heel, and then switch. Nice. Inhale the right leg up and back, and let's open the knee, and then circle the right ankle one way, coming on the balls of the left toes, and then circle the ankle the other way. And circle the knee and the hip joint one direction, and then circle it the other way. And then just straighten the leg, level the torso and pelvis, and reach and push, reach and push. And then lower the leg as you drop down to the knees, and we pause in child's pose. And coming up to downward dog to do the other side now. And then you're gonna find your way in dog and lift the left leg up and back, and then bend the knee and circle the left ankle one way. And circle it the other way. Circle the knee and the hip joint one way. And then reverse the direction. And then just straighten the leg And reach and push, reach and push, reach and push. Ooh, yeah. And then lower the leg, drop down to the knees, finding child's pose. And then lift your torso and come to a comfortable cross-legged position. If you have a prop, a pillow, you want to prop your hips up a little bit, I highly recommend it. Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo. And then you're just going to inhale the arms up towards the ceiling, shoulder distance, and exhale them back down. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, and then bring the right palm to the left knee as you lean to the right, and circle the left wrist and head one way, and then circle it the other way. And then you're going to karate chop. So both hands on both knees now, and bend your elbows and pull your torso forward and let your head and neck go, rounding your spine. And then coming up, inhaling the arms back up. Left palm on right knee, lean to the left and circle the wrist and the head one way. Circle the other way. And then karate chop. And then pull your elbows forward as you round through the spine. Let your head and neck go. Breathing into the back. And then come up. You're going to walk your right fingers over and reach the left palm over. And if you can drop down to your elbows without the hips coming up off the floor, then you can do that. You can circle the head and neck a couple different directions. And now bend the right elbow and reach for the back of the head, right? And then just open, push into the right palm as you rotate now to the left, opening the underside of the left armpit. Continue to reach the left elbow up towards the ceiling, and then lean the head back into the palm and breathe. And then release that, pushing off the right hand to come to the other side. Walk the left fingers over, reach the right arm over. Take a couple breaths like high up here before you drop down to the elbow. If you choose to go deeper, circle the rest of the head. Circle the other way. If you're dropping down to the elbow. Now I can't do this side without the right hip lifting, so I'm not gonna go that far. Right. And then bend the right elbow, so you're going to grab a hold of the back of the head and neck, and then you're going to lift that right elbow up, and you're going to push into the left palm, so you're literally rotating the rib cage up and back, right? And then lean the head and neck back into the palm, getting a little bit deeper underneath the armpits. Intercostal muscles of the rib cage, breathing here. One more breath. Oh, so nice. And then let that go. And then we inhale the arms up and we come down the middle just to even it out. And let the head and neck go. One more breath. And then grab your strap, your rope, your towel, whatever prop you have. You need to get up and get that. That's great. And then you're going to just kind of separate. So just kind of back and forth, flossing the shoulders. And then inhale up and back. So go slow, right? You don't need any injuries here. Breathing through all the range of motion of the pose. Back and forth. And now we come down to one side, right? And then just lift and reach up out the other side. Oh, so good. Full extension of the side body. And then come to the other side. And then reach and lift up out of the outside. Full extension of that body. Oh, my neck just went crack, crack, crack. So good. Last breath. And then come back to center. And this time, shorten the space between the strap, right? And then maybe shoulder distance, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder distance. And now we just go up. So take your navel and pull it in and back. So rib-hip connection, right? And you're lifting through the back ribs more than the front ribs. And let the shoulders draw away from the ears. If you need to bend the elbows a little bit to do that, do that. And then let that go. Oh, nice. Circle the wrist one way. Circle them the other way. Take the right palm, reach it towards me, and then just kind of stretch. Oh, that's good. And then reverse it. And then the other side, palm towards me, and just kind of stretch. And then reverse it. And then just kind of shake it out. Beautiful. Extend your legs out in front of you. Shake them out. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, down you go. Don't pull, don't force, don't tug. Let gravity and your breath do all the work. And then come up. And then bring the right foot, the sole of the right foot inside the left thigh. And inhale. And down you go on the exhale. Inhaling to come up. And switching sides. Right foot extends out to meet the left, and then the left foot comes in. Breath practice. Don't be so overly consumed with what the pose is supposed to look like. It's about letting go. Letting the breath be the guide. No right or wrong way to go. You don't have to be super flexy to do any of these things. You just need to breathe. And then coming up, soles of the feet together. I'm going to flop your wings a little bit. Let the inner groins stretch and release. And then just bring the elbows forward. So notice how my spine is rounding. And then let your head and neck go. I'm gonna come up and we find the splits on the both legs wide, right? So you can stay up here and just kind of work on the opening in the inner thighs. You can crawl yourself forward a little bit and come onto your elbows. Oh, I just feel so stiff today. And then round through the spine. Let the head and neck be heavy. One more breath. And then come up. And now just keep one leg straight and just fold the other leg in. And then you're going to bring your right hand up and then right hand behind you. Left hand up and the left hand in front of the right thigh, and we begin to twist. Gentle. And then come back to center. Right arm up, right arm behind you. Left arm up, left arm in front of the knee, and we twist in the opposite direction. Gentle. Come back to center, switch sides. Left leg's gonna come out. Right foot's gonna bend. Right arm up, right arm back. Left arm up, left arm across. We twist gently, don't crank, don't pull, don't force. Let your breath and the ease of surrendering into the pose initiate the twist. Inhale, left arm up, left arm back, right arm up, right arm across. We twist in the opposite direction. Breathe in. So nice. Coming back to center, extending both legs out in front of you so we can even out the spine, shake it out. One more forward fold. Inhale, down you go on the exhale. Nice. Call yourself up. Come to your hands and knees. And come all the way onto your belly. Do some lower back stuff. And then place your palms, so slide your palms so they're back by your shoulders, right? And take your elbows and tuck them in towards your rib cage and hips. Keep your feet planted on the ground, so the tops of the feet planted. And now press the tops of the feet down to lengthen through your inner groins, right? And then roll the shoulders forward, up, and pin them down. And go forward, up, and pin them down. Now press the palms to lift the torso and come up just a little bit, like a third of the way. Keep pressing the tops of the feet down to energize the legs, to support the lower back. And then release. Let's do that again. Roll the shoulders forward, up, pin them down. Press the palms down to the floor. So pin those elbows into the rib cage and then lift the torso to come just a little bit, a third of the way. Keep pressing the tops of the feet down. So don't lift the feet yet. Just press them down to support the lower back. Keep pushing and smushing the groin, the front of your hip, frontal hip bones down, and then let it go. Beautiful. One more time, third time's a charm, just like that. Shoulders, pin them forward, up, down, press the palms, lift the torso, press the tops of the feet, press, smush. Ah, nice. One more breath. Let that go. So nice. This time we lift the palms. Hover. We lift the torso. Now we lift the legs. Just a couple inches. It's not about height. It's more about length. But keep those elbows tucked in towards the waist. Keep tucking, reaching, and then let. One more time. Lift the palms. Lift the legs, lift the torso. Think more about length and height. So think more about reaching the crown of the head away from the toes and lifting the thighs out of the sockets. Tucking those elbows in towards the ribs and then let that go. Beautiful. Clasp the hands together behind the back. Tops of the palms on top of the sacrum and then let the elbows go. Let them be heavy, rounding to the upper back. And then draw the elbows together and then let them separate and then draw them together. One more set and draw them together. Clasp the hands, reach them behind, lift the torso, lift the legs. Separate the hands, keep reaching, keep extending and lengthening through the toes. Crown of the head reaches in the opposite direction. Look down, not up. Keep the wings tucked in. One more breath. Oh, let that go. Come to Sphinx pose. Come onto the elbows. So nice. Lift the hips just a couple inches, rounding the spine, and then let it go. Lift and round, and let it go. One more set. Lift and round. Let it go. Beautiful. You're gonna bring your palms to your shoulders. Lift your torso. Find child's pose. Nice work. Ah. Lift your torso, come up. Find your way onto your back. Grab your tennis ball. Before we do tennis ball, we're going to do a couple twists. All right, just kind of wringing out the body. I feel so much better already. Woo! Draw the knees into your chest. Extend the left leg. Circle the right ankle one way. Circle it the other way. Right arm out to the side like a T. Let's find the twist. Right knee's gonna come down. Oh, so good. One more breath. Come back to the back. Switch sides. Right leg extends, left knee bends. Circle the left ankle one way. Woohoo! Circle it the other way. Left arm out to the side. Let's twist. Two more breaths. Back to the center, knees into the chest. Take a breath like this in this shape. Happy baby. Rock from side to side. Maybe a few breaths with the legs wide, hands on the thighs, the shins, the feet. Back to happy baby. Back to knees into the chest. Nice. Grab your tennis ball. Woohoo! You've arrived. We're going to start with the tennis ball on the nape of the neck, right behind the head. Nape of the neck behind the head. Now this part is really surrendering. This part of the class is about surrendering, self-care. Take a couple breaths here. And then moving down the spine, so you're going to move down one side of the spine at a time. You're going to start next right in the nape of the neck and the shoulders, like right there. Oh, in that good spot where we carry all of our tension, right? And then you're just going to breathe here. You can direct the amount of pressure, right? You can bend your knees and lift your hips if you want. Just kind of push a little rock around on that spot if you want more pressure. Ugh. And when you're ready, you decide how much time you want to spend with each vertebra. And so you come down the side of the spine, just on the edge of the vertebra, not right on top of it. So you're not right on the spine, but you're on the side of the spine, working one side at a time. Like you decide the amount of time you spend. And so like for this, like right under that wing, like I'm just gonna kind of move the shoulder around in circles so I can get really deep into that spot. Oh, that's good. That's my spot. And then, like I said, you decide how much time you spend on each vertebra, moving down the chain of the spine, staying on one side. Oh, wow. And you're breathing into that spot, so whatever sensation comes up, it's okay. It's just about breathing into the sensation and then letting it go. Working your way incrementally down the spine. Take your time. Like really enjoy and indulge in the in the extreme sensation. Oh, it's great. And then when you've gotten to like that sticky spot, so you said that your lower back area, this is so good for that. Like just kind of breathe into it. You can ease off if it's too much. And you can kind of rock your hips side to side if you want a little more pressure. And then when you've gotten all the way down one side, like for me, sometimes I do get a little sciatica and I notice like right here, right where the flesh, the meaty flesh of where my glute comes into my spine, if I just take a couple breaths there, maybe rock from side to side, my pelvis. Oh, that's good. And then when you're ready, you move to the other side, starting with right where the nape of the neck and the shoulder, right where that luggage area is. You start right there. Oh, yeah. And then once again, you can direct the amount of pressure by lifting your hips, right? And just kind of pushing more pressure into that area. You don't have to be static. You can circle it around. You can rock side to side. All good. Oh, yeah. And then working your way down that side of the spine, one vertebra at a time, going slowly. Just moving at your own pace, incrementally up and down the spine. Oh, that's a good spot right there, right underneath my wing, right, like adjacent to my heart. Oh, that's a good one. And then just moving that ball down at your own leisure. Oof. And slowly breathing into every spot of your spine. Oh, wow, lower back. Woo. And when you've gone up and down both sides of your spine, the last spot is right in the glute muscle. So right in the heart of the glute of your cheek. You're gonna place that ball and you're gonna rock around, roll around, maybe move the knee and the hip one direction just to kind of really get into that piriformis muscle, especially if you have any kind of sciatica or lower back stuff going on. This is the spot for you. And then switching sides onto the other butt cheek. And just kind of rocking side to side. Maybe that knee rotation, hip rotation works for you. If it doesn't, don't do it. All right? Just do what works for you. And then kind of rocking side to side laterally along that piriformis muscle, along the whole side of the butt cheek. And then lastly, placing it right on the tailbone. And then just breathing. Let's take a couple cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, side out the mouth. One more just like that. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Now remove the tennis ball. Set yourself up for sweet Shavasana. Right, so rock your hips from side to side. If you have a pillow and you want to use that for support. If you have a roller and you want to place it underneath your knees for a little spinal traction, that's beautiful. Now let's take a couple minutes here in final resting pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. You can just close your eyes, relax your jaw, and take a couple deep breaths, just getting still and quiet. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly draw your awareness back into your body by making small movements with your fingers and your toes. And then reach your arm overhead for a full body stretch. So stretch from fingertip to tippy toe out of your lower back. Maybe rock your hips from side to side. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. Let's take a moment. Let's take a minute or two in seated meditation, because the yoga practice is traditionally designed to quiet the mind enough so that we can begin to sit in a seated, quiet seated meditation. So arms, palms up or down, doesn't really matter, whichever one comes to you first. And then close your eyes and sit up tall, stacking your bones. Lighting the crown of your head up with your tailbone, your shoulders up over your hips. Relax your jaw and the palate of your mouth. And then just begin to breathe. Deep breath in. Make your inhales 5-second breaths. Make your exhales longer than your inhales, like a 6 to 7 second breath. Relax any clenching in your eyelids or your jaw or your tongue. Relax any clenching of your facial muscles. Just like let all that muscular effort drain and go, and watch your breath. See your breath come in. See your breath go out. See your breath come in. See your breath go out. 5-second inhalation, you can count it if that helps. And then holding and pausing a little bit at the top. And then 6 or 7 count exhalation, and really emptying the lungs at the bottom and just becoming a witness to your breath, to the experience. Really observing the texture of your breath, the depth of your breath, the sensation of breathing. The more you focus on the texture of your breath, the calmer you become. You begin to quiet your central nervous system. Two more cycles of breath. And bring our hands together at our hearts. We seal our practice and bow our heads in deep gratitude. And I like to end the class with these few words. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. And especially in these turbulent times, may there be peace in the world. Namaste. So I'll go ahead and unmute you guys, and we'll say our goodbyes.